Multiple trends today are demanding accelerated adoption of quality engineering practices by banks. First and foremost, customer experience has become the single largest focus for banks. And this is essentially driving a large part of digital transformation that banks are going through. And while they are engaged in this journey, they are also facing a lot of competition from new players, big tech players on the one hand, fintech players on the other, and there are also many new entrants into the industry that are eating into traditional banks' revenues. Now, the good thing is many of the banks today are also benchmarking themselves against many of these new age players, the big tech players, in terms of how they are going about creating customer experience, in the way they are onboarding customers, their responsiveness to customers, not only in terms of speed, but how intuitive they are in their responsiveness to customers, in looking at the safety of data, safety of transactions. So entire user journey is being benchmarked against multiple players in the industry. And all this has also meant that banks quickly relook at how quickly they are able to acquire and implement new tech-led solutions that are really going to support this transformation. For over 20 years, Maveric has been supporting regional as well as global banks in their transformation journeys from a QA perspective. In the last 3 years, though, a lot of our focus has been on supporting banks reinvent their traditional QA org by bringing in a lot more QE competencies into them to support their digital transformation. This has essentially meant that we bring a lot more tech competency in many of the new age QE areas into the traditional QA organization. At Maveric, we have an integrated suite of offerings that are essentially helping banks implement their shift left strategies. One, we are bringing teams of SDETs into the dev organization, which are essentially aiding DevQA integration in really helping significantly improve code quality and bring a lot of early stage testing into the dev cycle, which essentially aids in producing defect-free code. A lot of non-functional engineering is really happening much earlier in the development cycle, working alongside the development team. Service virtualization and other tools and technologies are today helping us bring in extreme automation, where a significant part of automation is really happening at the services layer through the backend, not waiting for the UI to be ready, not waiting for all the interfaces to be in place. Essentially, we are inverting the automation pyramid and bringing in a lot more of automation much earlier in the life cycle.